This is Jeff.
This is Brandon.
We're the Film Blurs. This episode is brought to you by...
If you're a digital video editor, you need Edius. Edius is all about giving editors the creative freedom to create any application environment. It is designed to put the power in the hands of the editor with incredible flexibility. Edius, editing refined. Edius allows multiple users to edit, work with content as it imports, and getting content to the user incredibly fast. Check out the latest version of Edius that just launched. Download a 30-day trial today at edius.net. Get your films on with the Blurs.
Once an idea has taken hold of the brain, it's almost impossible to eradicate.
Unpacking movies has never been more spot on, woke, fire, and just plain lit.
They are lit all the time.
So if you're unsure whether or not to plop down some cash for a film, check out the Blurs.
When a man with a 45 meets a man with a rifle, the man with a pistol is a dead man.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolyte.
You really only need to hang mean bastards. But mean bastards, you need to hang.
Don't say you weren't warned. Ridiculous. Here's Brandon and Jeff.
Thank you so much for sending me the Film Blurs podcast link. They are truly a wonderful listen. Such a vast scope of film knowledge and appreciation, with a very unique way of presenting, makes this a very informative and entertaining listen. I look forward to tuning in every Monday. I've already subscribed and will encourage others to respond in kind. Cheers, Ridley. Yeah, so that's an email from Ridley Scott.
Yeah, and I would like to say thank you, Ridley, for listening to the show and actually liking it. Yo, because I talk out my fucking mouth on this show sideways.
Like, we're horrible people who should not ever have careers. Like, we shit on every opportunity we have.
Do we mean it? No.
Look, I shit on my heroes. You know, like, no matter how bad a movie is or whatever, they're still doing it.
Yeah.
I'm just mad that Ridley Scott doesn't end every email with tears in the rain. Or whatever, like the Roy Batty monologue from the end of Blade Runner.
Well, I want to say this directly to Mr. Scott, and I just want, or Sir Scott, Sir Ridley Scott.
He is a knight, sir.
Yeah, Sir Ridley Scott. If you ever want to come on the show, please do. I know you have 2 movies coming out. You have House of Gucci and The Last Duel, and if you want to come on and promote them both, we'll be glad to have you. If you want to come on and just talk some other stuff, we'll be glad. One suggestion though, for your Gucci movie, in the trailer, can you please use the chorus from A$AP Rocky's Fashion Killer, because that fits perfectly, because Gucci was murdered, right? He goes, my pistol goes bang, bang, boom, boom, pop, pop.
I mean,
I'm a fashion killer and I'm a trendy gaga. They need that. They need that.
I just want to so if Mr. Ridley, if Sir Ridley Scott is actually listening right now, I would like to thank him personally. Because as an independent filmmaker, along with all my other independent filmmaker friends, a lot of one of our biggest complaints is like, man, like, why haven't I made it yet? Blah, 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 blah. I should be further in my career. And I always use this as an example. Ridley Scott didn't direct Blade Runner until he was 45.
Oh, shit.
You know? So, like...
Well, Alien Covenant, man, like, listen, despite how I may like the movie as a whole, there's stuff he's doing in that movie. Sir, you're doing stuff in that movie where I'm just like, dude, this is... People in their 20s couldn't even accomplish what you're doing right now.
Well, I felt the same way about when Scorsese did
Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah,
like that's a younger man's movie. You know, like, you know, that's not a guy who's been in the game for like 50 years, and like Ridley Scott is still doing his thing.
Yeah, man.
So like the fact that he's actually listening to this podcast and he actually enjoys what we're saying. I feel blessed, man. I had BDE all day yesterday, man, like swinging. I was knocking shit off tables.
Bro, I grew up on Alien and Blade Runner. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I saw those movies way too young.
It's fucking Gladiator, man. Like, I even like Matchstick Men.
Black Hawk Down.
Black
Rain. Thelma and Louise.
Yeah, man. Like,
the Getty movie he just did, All the Money in the World. he swapped out Kevin Spacey real quick. Shout out to you for that, man, because I just want to say, like, I would have done the same thing, but not as quickly as you did it, because he originally wanted Christopher Plummer in that role. So, hey, studios, maybe when the director's casting their movie, maybe they're casting it for a reason.
Right. I mean, let's talk about all of his producing credits as well, man. Like, he's shepherded a lot of projects. What's the newest one that's on HBO Max? Raised by Wolves.
Yeah, that show is weird.
I love it. I love it,
but it's weird.
I mean, the last episode was too weird for me.
Well, it's setting up season 2, so we'll have to see if it pays off.
Right, but like, if you Raised by Wolves, I just want to say this: Ridley Scott's been making this movie for his whole entire career, because it touches on all of the things that he has brought up in a lot of his movies. Man versus technology, man's connection to God, all of this stuff. It's in Raised by Wolves, and so, like, I think it's the most Ridley Scott project I've actually ever seen. Yeah.
So, well, thank you for listening, sir.
Yeah. All right. Well, so we're done kissing your ass.
We're the Film Blurds.
I'm Jeff Stewart, filmmaker, consummate ass kiss, sycophant. You can call me MC McGuffin.
I'm Brandon Norwood. I'm the protagonist, and Joe, I'm sick of you now. Your kids are sick of you. They call me dad now. You know what? Here's some money. Go get the pancakes from IHOP. And if you mess it up, I'll turn you into one of my kids too.
So does Joe get weekends?
No, Joe gets once a month visit at IHOP for an hour.
What?
That's what Joe gets.
Once a month?
Once a month.
But he's still doing child support, right?
Oh yeah, we taking his money.
Okay, I'm just saying, because you don't marry the chick, because that means you take full responsibility.
No, you see widows. You know how Daniel Kaluuya got in that dude's face? That's what I do to Joe. And then I say, Joe, you see that extra $2? That's tip money. AKA B. Wood the Magnificent.
Oh, you chose violence today. You woke up and chose violence. All right, so what do we got going on? Let's start this fucking show.
Last episode, episode 6, I had messed up Jeff Nichols' name. I'm sorry, sir. You're Jeff Nichols, not Mike Nichols. Michael, you're both legends, but Mike Nichols directed The Graduate, and my man's has been long dead, rest in peace. So we went to say Jeff Nichols is the one who's doing the Quiet Place spinoff. And yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I mean, we'll see.
And then Craven's Last Hunt, because I was hazy. Craven's Last Hunt is basically Craven successfully hunts down and kills Spider-Man and literally becomes Spider-Man and sets him up to be a madman. And he sets one of Spider-Man's most dangerous villains, Vermin, on the loose. So eventually Spider-Man comes back from the dead, beats Craven, clears his name because Craven's a psycho, and mailed the evidence to the police. Because once Spider-Man beats him, he's just like, oh, well, I mean, what else is there to live for? Like, I beat you once. So he goes home, he kills himself, and he sends evidence from where he was dressed as Spider-Man. And then Spider-Man has to find Vermin. He finds Vermin, has a hard time beating him because last time he beat him, he had help from Captain America. And he beats Vermin. Vermin gets arrested, and he goes home to Mary Jane because they're married in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Craven's final hunt, and that's one of the best comic storylines ever. But again, why is Craven getting his own movie? Who knows? Who knows?
It's not going to be nearly as interesting
as that story.
Because,
like I said, all these are great villains, but they're why they're great? Because they're Spider-Man villains.
Right.
Like, this is a whole thing about man and meditation of man and what man does and all this. Like, it's a pretty deep comic. Like, it has a quote from a poem called The Predator. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Craven's Last Hunt is deep. And I would just like to say that there's no way you're going to do a Craven movie right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know why they're trying. I wish they would just stick to a plan. Weren't they supposed to do a Sinister Six?
Yeah,
movie?
And that was going to be done by who's the dude who directed Drew Goddard? He was going to do Drew Goddard doing Sinister Six, and Drew Goddard has not missed yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's worked on a lot of Joss Whedon stuff, and usually the stuff he's written has been the best things. He directed Cabin in the Woods. He directed Bad Times at El Royale. Both of those are fantastic. I mean, both of those also subvert the genre.
Right,
they're
exactly.
doing.
Because I did not expect what I got with Bad Time at the El Royale.
Right. Yeah, Craven's Last Hunt. Please read it. I'm trying to find what they are quoting in. Yeah, it's the tiger. That's the poem they're quoting. William Blake's The Tiger throughout the and they changed the tiger to the spider to match, you know.
All right.
So
I mean, I'll check out Craven's Last Hunt. I will not check out Craven the Hunter, the
movie,
the TV movie, because it's probably going to look like a TV movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's get into so Jeff, what have you watched lately?
What have I been watching? I don't know. It feels like a blur. I've been watching everything. I finally started watching Harley Quinn.
How you like it?
I love it.
Yeah, it's fun, right?
It is a hilarious fucking show because I was apprehensive to start watching it because I hate the character of Harley Quinn. Let me take that back. I don't hate the character of Harley Quinn. I hate people who like Harley Quinn.
Why?
I don't know. It's a lot of women out there I see, you know, like that was the uniform for 2018. It's like the Harley Quinn outfit and everything like that. And I see things posted online. It's like, I want a relationship, like I want to love like Harley Quinn and the Joker. It's like, no, you don't. That is a toxic relationship.
Yeah. It's weird how that relationship is like praised upon by women.
Right. I don't.
Joker and Harley Quinn, because like he beats the shit out of her. Man.
Right. That is like the definition of an abusive relationship.
He literally made her crazy and turned into a criminal.
Right.
So.
Right. But I do like what Margot Robbie's doing with the character. She is the best part of that Suicide Squad movie. And even though I do have major problems with Birds of Prey,
yeah, same. She
was the best part of it. I mean, she would have to be. It's her fucking movie. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the Harley Quinn animated series. You know, I hope they get a third season.
They are. It's in production
because it's just a very it's very woke.
Yeah,
it's super woke, and her like relationship with Poison Ivy and how that's growing into a romance, and it's about standing on your own. It's actually, you know, for a cartoon with a lot of dick and fart jokes, it's actually very poignant.
See, and the thing is like it's R-rated and juvenile, but it fits because that's the character. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's not like dark art, like, you know, I'm making a movie for adults. It's just, oh, let's have some fun type shit.
Right.
It's like what I hope Suicide Squad is.
Yeah, and shout out to fucking the MVP of that show, Bane.
Oh yeah,
I love fucking Bane in that show, man.
Yeah,
I love everybody in that show. It's so fucking fun.
Yeah.
And that's all I like. I got nothing else to say about it. It's just fun. And I loved how in season 2 they started clowning fanboys.
Where the dude had to release the Snyder Cut shirt.
Right, yeah.
They watched the episode, and at the end, he's like, all right, well, let's watch some hentai. And I was like, yeah.
It tracks. It tracks. That's on brand.
That's the type of people who watch that nasty shit. Fucking, that shit is gross.
Yeah,
that's why I'm so put off by anime. This shit is just... shout out to everybody who's been watching Demon Hunter and coming back and saying, yo, Demon Hunter's fire. Brandon, you were right. Yeah, I'm not leading you astray.
Yeah, I mean, I don't begrudge Japanese culture when it comes to that kind of thing, because you can't drop 2 atomic bombs on a people and expect everything to be all right, you know? So, you know, if they want to have some tentacle porn, they'll let them, like, they earn that. They earn that.
Yo. No. All right, what else have you watched?
I am watching the show Hacks.
Never heard of it.
It's on HBO Max, man. I've been like, HBO Max just needs to give me fucking money because everything I watch now is on that network or streaming service. It's pretty much the story of Joan Rivers, but not really. It's about a aging comedian, like top of her game, who is trying to refresh her image, trying to like stay relevant. So she hires a disgraced television writer, a woman, a young woman who did a tweet and got canceled.
Got you.
Right.
Okay.
And so they're like teaming up to like try to just bring back their careers. And it's hilarious. But it's also very, very touching because it's about like the relationships between, not just, working professional females or women. I'm sorry, you can't say females or you got to say women. Someone told me that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry. We're trying.
We're growing. God's working on all of us.
We're trying. But two professional women, but all who were trying to navigate, the entertainment industry. But it's also about like mother-daughter relationships and just trying to like find your way through life. I know it sounds like a bunch of touchy-feely bullshit, but it's not. It's actually very vicious and hilarious. Jean Smart has killed it this year, from like her starring role in this to her work on Mayor of Easttown. So watch Hacks. And then because I was watching Hacks, I decided to rewatch Crashing. Did you ever see that show?
I know of it, Pete Holmes, and it's about what happened to him in real life.
Right. It's about, if you don't know the comedian Pete Holmes, he was a Christian, diehard Christian, follower, I guess. What do you call it? Who decided to do comedy. A whole bunch of shit happens to him. And then, he works his way up the stand-up comedy circuit and to be like a pretty big deal. Didn't he have a late night show?
Yeah. I never watched it, but I heard it was good. It's
really good, and it's actually one of the very few Judd Apatow things that I've actually enjoyed recently.
Okay. Did you like Trainwreck?
No, I didn't.
I thought that shit was hilarious.
I don't like Amy Schumer.
All right. Well, that was the last thing she did that I really loved.
Yeah, I mean, what else has she done? I mean, like with Trainwreck, and what else has
that movie with Goldie Hawn, that jungle movie.
Oh yeah. What was it called?
Snatched.
Yeah, even the name is horrible.
Yeah, that's it. She I don't know what else she's been doing, but and then Judd Apatow right after that, he did The King of Staten Island. That was not good. That was like, it suffers Judd Apatowism. Is like
it's a half hour too long.
Yes, yes. Funny People is great, but Funny People is a movie and its sequel.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean, I mean, I'm trying to think of like The Last King of Staten Island, and yeah, it's. I would say it's 45 minutes too long, man. Like it goes nowhere. Like, what's the point? Well, like, there's no point to the like. He doesn't really grow. The character doesn't really grow.
I mean, he does by the end, but it's small steps.
Right.
But my thing is like, you could cut out the whole robbery and change nothing.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, a better version of Last King of Staten Island is Small Time Adolescence.
I didn't watch that. Like one Pete Davidson movie's enough for me.
Man, I love Pete Davidson, man.
He's funny on SNL, but I don't want to see the same fucking movie with
man, he's like someone's gonna put him in something.
Well, he's in Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but he's gonna be in Suicide Squad for like 5 minutes. Watch. like everybody you see in the first half of that trailer is dead within the first 15 minutes. I'll put money on it.
I'm not gonna argue with you there. Well, what else have you watched?
What else am I watching? I started watching this show called Startup.
Okay.
It's pretty much Breaking Bad with cryptocurrency.
Okay.
It's about the son of a financial analyst who inadvertently has to launder money for his father. So he puts it into a burgeoning cryptocurrency. Unfortunately, half that money that he put into that cryptocurrency belongs to a drug dealer. Right. So it's about, now it's like the programmer, the money man, and the drug dealer all partnering up to make this cryptocurrency a sort of reality. And it's actually really, really fucking good.
Okay.
It's super violent and super like campy, but it's enjoyable. It was on Crackle.
Oh, yeah.
Before, like I forgot Crackle was a thing.
Sony was ahead of the curve on streaming, and then how did they fuck that up? Like, they should have, like, once Netflix blew up, they should have been pushing Crackle. Like, hey, we got all this shit on Crackle.
Well, I guess everything that's on Crackle is now on Netflix because that's where I watched it. And it says like Crackle original program. I was like, oh, that's so fucking sad. That's so. Oh. They let you keep that? Did they, fella? Did they let you? Just to let you know, we were a thing. Oh, Crackle. But check out Startup. It's 3 seasons on Netflix. It stars Adam Brody or Adrian. I always forget now. Is Adam? Who's the dude from the OC?
That's Adam.
Adam Brody.
Adrian's the one with the huge nose
with the schnoz.
Yeah,
right. So it's Adam Brody and Martin Martin Freeman. Yeah, the Hobbit.
Yeah.
All
right. So, real quickly, I watched Law and Order, Organized Crime.
All of it, or like
it's only 8 episodes. That's how long the first season is, and I love this one because Stabler is fucking out of his mind. And they're not afraid to show like this nigga like straight up committing crimes and just losing his mind. And his black captain is just like, just as crazy as he is. And he's just like, yeah, you do what you got to do. I'll sweep it under the table. And I'm just like, yo, what?
I watched the first 2 episodes of Organized Crime. And I was like, yeah.
And I like it because it's serialized. You know what I mean? So like, there's this whole plot, and like we get to the end of the season, and I was like, all right, let's wrap it up. And then I was like, fucking cliffhanger. God damn it. Like I thought we were gonna move to like each season was gonna be like a new crime boss. And now like I don't want to see Dylan McDermott no more. Like I'm ready for this nigga to die. Like
in real life, Dylan McDermott, you're sick of seeing his face.
No, I mean the character. Like I'm just tired of this fucking character.
I'm mad about. I wish the Chaz Palminteri character lasted more.
A little longer. Yeah, man. I have fun with Organized Crime. This is gonna be a good one. It weaves in and out with SVU, but I got to go back and watch SVU. And the reason why I don't watch SVU is because there's only so much rape and sex crimes I can take. There's an episode of SVU where a lady gets raped on a train in front of everybody, and I'm just like, that's bullshit because somebody would have jumped up and like sucker punched that dude. Like, listen, I ride the A train almost every day. Like, motherfuckers don't put up with too much. You know what I mean?
So everybody in New York City, A train is rape free.
Yeah. So, what else have I watched? I watched the Billy Crystal movie Here Today. I got a screener for it a few weeks ago.
Okay, tell me about this. This hasn't even been on my radar.
Billy Crystal plays this legendary writer. He's a comedy writer, works on a quasi SNL, wrote all these legendary movies within the movies world. Meets Tiffany Haddish because she took the spot of her ex-boyfriend who paid $25 to meet him in some charity thing. Right. And it's about them becoming friends because Billy Crystal has Alzheimer's. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's inoffensive. You know what I mean? It's light. It's something you could watch with the whole family. Is it memorable? Fuck no. But I mean, something that light and breezy. I'm just like, okay. You know
how is Billy Crystal holding up? I mean, I haven't seen him in anything in a month of Sundays.
He still has his smart ass quips. So I mean, it is what it is. It's a TV movie. He wrote it, he produced it, he directed it. Tiffany Haddish co-stars in it. She's a producer on it.
Right.
Yeah, man, it's so inoffensive. Like the fact that people are shitting on this, I'm like, guys, it's
why are they shitting on it? Like it sounds
Because-
like a perfectly fine Sunday afternoon movie.
and that's what it is. It's not. It's like they're like it's so cliched. I'm like, yeah, man, but
well, sometimes sometimes you want.
everybody needs to cash out on a Hallmark movie every once in a while, man.
Yeah, like so, fucking. Sometimes popcorn tastes good.
Yeah, man.
You know, like-
Jesus Christ. Like, I recommend people pay to see this shit? Like, pay the video on demand prices? And fuck no, wait till this shit comes to one of these streaming services.
Like how much is the video on demand?
20. Yeah. It's $20 to rent some of these movies. That's why, again, I go to the theater and pay my little $10 to watch it.
How do you have the balls to charge $20 for a digital rental?
Yeah. That's how I feel so ripped off by Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar because I paid $20 because everybody would not stop talking about it.
I enjoyed that movie, but I would not enjoy it if I had paid $20 for it. I would not have fucking enjoyed it.
Fucking the only thing cool was like the sound was good because again it was streaming in Dolby Atmos, but like that movie's not fucking funny, man. It has a few funny moments, but fuck that movie.
It's weird. It's a weird movie.
Yeah, not in a good way.
I like the weirdness of it. Like it was just so awkward. It was so awkward, but I wouldn't have paid $20 to see it.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah, no. They owe you a refund.
Yeah, I had to pay $20 a few times for a few movies.
Yeah, I don't see how they have the balls to do that when you can go to Redbox.
Oh well.
Oh shit!
We might have fucked up.
No, you fucked up.
Yeah, I fucked
All right,
up.
so we just
Whatever.
got news that Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar is Scott Aukerman's favorite movie. So what does that say about him? That says a lot about him.
I mean, Scott's funny. A lot of people I like are funny who recommended it. That's why I rented it. Like so many people I trust, and I was just like, man, it was enjoyable. It was weird and awkward. It wasn't laugh out loud funny. It's like ha ha ha. Funny. Right. Well, let's move on.
Yeah. So
I watched this morning. I got a screener on Friday for a movie that dropped over the weekend called Spirit Untamed. And if you don't know what Spirit Untamed,
I don't know what Spirit Untamed is about. Looks like you can barely contain yourself. So tell me what this is about.
So in 2002, DreamWorks Animation put out a movie called Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron. Apparently, it's a good movie. I've never seen it. Did it make money? No, because it was like actual horses, like animated. So like they don't talk, they don't do anything. They actually neigh to each other.
So it's like I'll let you finish.
And the horse has inner thoughts, and the inner thoughts are voiced by Matt Damon. So I've never seen this motherfucking movie. So flash forward years later, DreamWorks and Netflix decide to turn this into a fucking CG show. And somehow, some way, this show has been successful. It's been on for 16 seasons, apparently. It started in like 2018.
Wait. There's been 16 seasons of
Spirit
of a horse show.
It's Spirit. I'll look up the name of the actual show, but this is what Spirit Untamed is, because the show is a spinoff of Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron. And this movie that I watched this morning, Spirit Untamed, is a spinoff of the fucking show. And I'm like, how many times are we going to spin off a fucking horse, man? A horse named Spirit. So
I'm looking at the IMDb page right now.
Spirit Riding Free. That's the name of the television show. So Spirit Untamed, it's a CG animated movie about a girl and a horse, basically. Fucking shit is ugly as sin. The girl's dad is voiced by Jake Gyllenhaal, and this nigga sounds so checked out the entire movie. He's just like reading the lines like, yeah. Did it cash through yet? Cool. I'm out.
Yeah, I take Venmo, Cash App, whatever. It looks like VeggieTales.
And you know what's funny? You said fucking VeggieTales.
It looks like fucking VeggieTales. The animation looks like.
Oh shit. Yo, they showed before Cruella started. There was a nice woman who sat a few seats down from me. She was there with an older couple. Looked like they were her mom and dad, or maybe her grandma, grandpa. I don't know.
Right.
Either way, I overheard the conversation she was having. She was like, yeah, I asked my friend Billy or Jake or whatever the dude's name was. I asked him if he was going to come with me to see Spirit. And he's like, no. And then the older couple started laughing, and they're laughing like, yeah, like, why would he? And she's like, yeah, I'm so disappointed in him. I'm just like,
I'm disappointed in you.
listen, lady, you said friend. So that's your first strike. No male friend is going to go see Spirit Untamed with you. Like, if you said, oh, my boyfriend or my husband, then I'd be like, yeah, that sucks. But you said friend. Get the fuck out of here.
Like, how old was this woman? Like,
She looked a little older than me. So I want to say maybe 36, 37. Yeah. Yeah, when you're, and then they played the trailer for it in front of Cruella, and I just remember watching the trailer. I'm like, bro, this, you want to see this shit? This shit?
All right, so let me look at the voice talent. I got the voice talent right here for fucking Spirit Untamed. We got Jake Gyllenhaal, Juliana Moore, Walton fucking Goggins.
Yeah, he was the villain.
Andre Brower.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
This movie's not good. I want to say this up front. It not only is it ugly as sin, it is not good. It feels like it was written by like a prepubescent girl.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
that's the target audience is prepubescent girls. This is one where once it hits Netflix, you put it on for the kids, and then you either eat an edible and pass out, or you eat an edible and go do some other shit. You do not sit and watch this with your kids. You put this on, you say, don't do anything, watch this, and I'll be back.
I'm mad they couldn't get Matt Damon to come back for the voice. Oh shit! You know what? Fucking mansions don't buy themselves, baby. I can't judge anybody.
This movie made $4.5 million this past weekend.
Yo, I hate my.
It did worse than the first one did back in 2002.
Man, you can't. It's a pandemic, baby. You can't. The numbers are all skewed.
Why would they drop this? I don't know. This should have been straight to Netflix. Like, the fact they had the audacity to put this out in theaters and think people were really gonna go see this shit. Except for that lady. I was like, well, lady, you need to go home to your cats and like rethink some things in your life.
Oh, so I'm going to go watch Spirit Untamed this weekend, because I have to be on the same level of hatred as you are, man.
It is 87 minutes, and guess what? It feels a fuck ton longer than that.
87 minutes for a PG movie about a fucking talking horse.
A horse, it doesn't talk.
Oh, okay. So the horse still doesn't talk.
No, it still doesn't talk.
It still neighs.
Yeah, it still neighs. It still has a personality. That's it.
But I do hear the internal.
No.
Oh, no internal monologue.
No, this movie.
That's how that's how they were able to fix that whole time Matt Damon thing.
The POV is from the. It's basically the girl driving the movie.
Okay.
The girl and her dad. And I don't want to get into the plot of this shit because why bother?
There's no plot.
Yeah,
there's
fucking
horse girls doing horse girl things.
So we'll move on to the final thing I watched, which I loved. On Paramount Plus, they dropped Rugrats, the CG Rugrats.
I watched the first episode of that.
Right?
And I did not hate it.
And I'm glad they put Susie and her parents in from the jump. We don't have to wait like 3-4 fucking seasons.
Right.
I love how they updated it. Like, they clearly know who's watching it, which is people our age.
Right, yeah.
And we're showing this shit to our kids, right? Because they know their audience. Because they're sitting there where me and my brother are looking at each other and just could not stop laughing. Like, holy shit. Phil and Lil don't have a dad anymore because, you know, their mom's a lesbian, which, you know, makes sense. Right? Mm-hmm. Grandpa's basically a stoner. He does yoga all the time. He has a long ponytail. I loved everything they updated. If you want to keep this shit good, don't put Dill in it. That's when the original went downhill, is when they did the movie and put Dill in it, and then when Dill was in the show.
Wait, I forget. Well, Dill was the baby, like the baby brother.
Yeah,
right.
And I'm like, Tommy's already a baby. I don't know why you had to add a little brother, and it did nothing except just make the show worse. Like, the only thing that was good in the show that came later was Kimmy. Like if they want to add Kimmy, cool. Kimmy was a cool character.
Man, you know like a lot about Rugrats. I have not watched the episode of Rugrats. Like I loved Rugrats, but I was always an all real monster dude.
Oh yeah, that show's hard. But Rugrats was one of the shows I grew up with. Like I grew up with that. I'm a '90s kid. Like I was born in the '80s, raised in the '90s.
Yeah,
man.
I know. Same thing. You know, a little older. But, you know,
it was that
Doug.
Yeah, Doug. Oh man, they do Doug in this style and keep it like
keep it like kind of not real, but like keep it like as relevant as Doug was back in the day. Yeah,
if they could do what they did with Rugrats to Doug, perfect. I fucked with Doug. I fucked with the Angry Beavers. I fucked with the Wild Thornberries.
I never got into the Wild Thornberries.
That feral kid cracks me up. It was voiced by Flea, and Flea would just scat. Who else? What is? There was one more. Fuck, I can't remember. I know it was Cat Dog, but there was something else around that time I really fucked with. But yeah, man, I was raised on all that shit. You know what I mean? It's Nickelodeon at its prime, man. When they had Snick, which was Saturday Night Nick. You know, it had their own SNL for kids, all that.
Right, yeah.
Bag and Sag and Barry still fucking cracks me up. You remember that shit? Bag and Sag and Barry, you got a TV? Let me check. He reach in his pants, pull out a fucking TV. Bag and Sag and Barry, I'm hungry. Nigga pulled out a fucking whole ass hoagie. And then he always have that dance at the end of each segment. Bag and Sag and Barry. And you do that dance. Bag and Sag and Barry.
Man, I've not seen you this happy talking about some shit in the longest time.
Yo, man, it's bringing back good memories from my childhood.
All right. So, have they signed up for like a second season already? Because like that's the new thing with these shows. Like you don't even get past the first season before you do season 2.
In my opinion, they kind of fucked up because when they first ordered this show, they ordered it for 20 episodes, so they only put the first 5 up. And the first episode's 45 minutes, and then every other episode's like 20 or 25.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's 2 segments. Like it's old school because the old show always had 2 segments, so it's 2 segments.
All right. Well, so everybody, another reason to borrow someone's Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
Log in.
And we're going to get to something else. We'll roll into it now. Trailer talk.
All right, trailer talk.
Let's start off with Infinite coming on Paramount Plus Thursday. This movie's going to be bad when they dropped the trailer last week for a movie that comes out Thursday.
Right.
And they announced that this was going to happen like 3 weeks ago. So this is all happening pretty fast.
And like I usually fuck with Antoine Fuqua.
Right.
Like he will always have much love for The Replacement Killers.
Oh yeah, I forgot he did that.
Yeah, right. The Replacement Killers.
Did he do The Corruptor?
Yeah, I think he did The Corruptor. Brooklyn's Finest.
Yeah, he did Tears of the Sun.
Tears of the Sun, Training Day. So like he's got some bangers out there. But this movie looks horrible. I don't even know what it's about. The first half of the trailer,
he's infinite.
Yeah, but what the fuck does that mean?
I don't know.
Like he's in a fucking interrogation room, and they're just asking him different questions. It's like, oh, do you remember this? No. Do you remember this? No. I'm gonna put a gun to your head. Do you remember this? Yes. That's the fucking trailer. And then like a bus breaks through a wall and Infinite.
Yeah, she's like, You're infinite. And I was like, okay, man.
But what the fuck does that mean? Do you live forever? Are you reincarnated? Give me fucking something.
We'll find out this weekend.
For a trailer for a movie that's coming out in a week, they explain something to me.
Yo, listen, there's a reason why they pulled it, right? They got it. Like Paramount, I've realized all the movies they've been pulling and selling to Amazon, they've been doing that for a reason. And like now seeing this trailer, I'm like, yeah. Well, we'll see how it is. Because the only other Paramount original movie they have was the SpongeBob movie. That was basically an ad for Cam Coral. Yeah, exactly. So, all
right.
Yeah. So
the Infinite. I'm not gonna say, torrent it, but torrent it.
We'll talk. That's one we're talking about next week, man.
Yeah. I guess we gotta talk about it. I guess we gotta watch that shit.
Listen, are we paying for it?
No, because I'm borrowing your fucking Paramount Plus.
All right, so
So the
All
Infinite
right.
and like so Marky Mark doing some sci-fi bullshit, but they won't tell us what that sci-fi bullshit is. So it's just really just sci-fi bullshit for the sake of sci-fi bullshit.
all right. Well, let's stick it with sci-fi and do Reminisce.
Oh shit!
That looks hard.
You mean Inception 2, Electric Boogaloo?
Listen. Lisa Joy directed one of the best episodes of TV ever, and that was her directorial debut.
What was that?
Riddle of the Sphinx. It was Westworld season 2 episode. I think it's episode 4 or 9.
Okay.
That episode revolved heavily around Logan's dad.
Okay. I
And-
think I remember that episode. Okay.
Yeah, that episode was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, like, I watched the trailer for Reminisce. You sent it to me yesterday. I'm not gonna lie, it looks good.
Yeah.
Like it looks like I would really enjoy that. It seems like it's Inception meets sort of Dark City.
You know, it looks like Blade Runner to me, and like it's but not Blade Runner.
Right.
It looks like Blade Runner, but not Blade Runner. But I would say it looks like it's a futuristic noir thriller revolving around a love story, and like all great noir films, every noir film revolves around the love story in some sense.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. It's I am looking forward to it.
Yeah. I'll be IMAXing this one, but not on the real one. I'm
Yeah.
my ass,
I'll HBO Max this
like
one.
my ass is going in the Chamonix.
Right. But Reminisce looks good. But I hope they do a remix of Troy though. Of they reminisce over you.
Oh.
If that's not the title track.
At least
Pete Rock and CL Smooth.
I don't think that's in the Nolan's wheelhouse.
That's not. Yeah.
I was surprised they had the Wu-Tang cover in season 2 of Westworld, but like I don't think they know that shit. You know what I mean? Because she's married to Jonathan Nolan, and she's the co-creator on Westworld. But I don't think that's in their wheelhouse.
Maybe they know hip hop like that.
I very much doubt it.
You doubt
I
they
very
know
much doubt
hip hop
it.
like that.
Very much doubt it. The whole reason Travis Scott did the Tenet song wasn't because of Chris. It was because of Ludwig. Ludwig reached out to him because he straight up told Chris, he's like, I don't know what to score at the end of this movie. He's like,
Right.
people are going to come out like seeing this movie. Like we should punctuate it. And like, he's like, how about Travis Scott? And he's just like, who? And he's just like, Travis Scott. And he's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, all right.
Because
yeah.
Travis is one of the biggest rappers out right now. So shout out to Ludwig. That score is hard. And it's like the best part of the fucking movie.
Don't disagree.
Reminisce.
What else we got?
We got something you were excited about, and we both were. We talked about it a lot on this show before. Gunpowder Milkshake.
Right? It just looks like a woman-driven version of John Wick, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, it looks hard.
It looks like it. Honestly, it looks like what I wanted from Atomic Blonde.
Yeah, because Atomic Blonde got very confusing and up its own ass at parts.
Right. And, like shout out to Charlize for doing her own stunts, and
Yeah.
like those fights were hard, but the movie itself was, I'm not gonna say boring, but it was boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Gunpowder Milkshake, that's coming out next month, right?
I don't know. I think it's a Netflix movie.
Yeah,
right?
it's a Netflix movie. It's coming out soon. So, I mean, streamers are king nowadays. You know, get used to it.
Yeah. So we'll move on to our next one, Jungle Cruise, new trailer. Like it looks like fun.
It looks like it. Like
It looks fun.
We said you said this in the last one, the last podcast. Just saying it's a Disney movie isn't an insult.
Yeah.
It looks like a Disney movie. It looks like Emily Blunt and The Rock, two people I like watching on screen.
Why wouldn't I watch them charm me in like an action adventure movie?
Right, you know?
And
like,
it looks better. Like the concept, just hearing Jungle Cruise, I'm like, oh, this is going to be some dumb shit. But then you watch the trailer, you're like, oh, this looks like a little fun, action-packed adventure.
like people said the same thing with Pirates of the Caribbean, you know? Like
that turned out to be crazy.
Right, exactly. I loved the original Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
I watched that in the theater like 5 times.
Yeah, the 2 and 3 have some very good merits. Is it as good as the first one? No, but they're still entertaining in their own right.
Right. So
Yeah.
So Disney doing shit based on, rides and whatever like that. I don't begrudge them, because sometimes they put some top tier talent behind it and they kill it, but it looks like a Disney movie.
Yeah.
And like sometimes that's what you want. You just want a commodity. You want some, like, I know what I'm getting with a Disney movie.
Let me ask you this. You think it's going to be better than Cruella?
I mean, define better. Will I enjoy it more? Probably.
Okay.
I will definitely probably enjoy it more than I will enjoy Cruella, because this is my wheelhouse. This is, action adventure. This is some Indiana Jones meets fucking National Treasure shit.
All right.
And I'm all here for that.
All right, fair enough, man. Fair enough. Our next trailer is Old. They keep sending me screenings for this, and guys, send it to me in Manhattan. I'm not going to Paramus, New Jersey to see an M. Night Shyamalan movie. I don't want to see an M. Night Shyamalan movie at all. Like, he killed all of his goodwill with me.
Yeah, I mean...
And this just looks stupid.
If anyone else had done this movie, I would have been excited about it.
Like, it seems like a Twilight Zone episode, right. And the only person who could really pull off Twilight Zone, in my opinion, is Jordan Peele. Like, if this was a Jordan Peele movie, I'd be a little more excited, because at least he would do something with this. Right. Like M. Night, it's gonna have some dumbass twist.
It's gonna have a twist in it, and it's gonna be like the first. Like the first 30 minutes is going to be needless exposition and set up for shit that's not going to pay off.
Yeah, man. It's something funny is I went to the marathon for the Unbreakable trilogy.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That was the world premiere of Glass. M. Night was, like, you saw the pictures. M. Night was literally like a few feet in front of us doing the Q&A. And we all found it curious that they were doing the Q&A in between Split and Glass. Like, we did Unbreakable,
right? Rolled
right into Split. And then once Split was done, went right into the Q&A. And we're all like, wait, shouldn't the Q&A be after Glass? And then...
I get that, because, they knew they had a piece of shit on their hands. And I was like, hey, look at these first two movies that you really liked.
Yeah, and then Glass, I just remember just that you could smell the disappointment in the air.
Yeah, it smells like Lady in the Water.
Yeah. You know what, man? I like that shit better than Glass.
We talked about this on the other podcast. I appreciate the meta-ness of Lady in the Water. At least he tried.
And you know what? It still has his nice little directing flourishes, because I like Glass. Unbreakable and Split has his directing flourishes, and Glass does not.
Like he's not a bad director, but he's also beholden to the thing that made him famous.
He gets in his own way,
because
the twist is like the twist, and just the general concept. Like, my thing with Glass is, how the fuck are you going to try and gaslight superheroes when you have their weaknesses in the rooms they're locked up in? Like, you're telling Bruce Willis, oh, you don't have super strength, but you locked them up in a fucking vault.
Right.
You're trying to tell a dude who has multiple personalities, one that has super strength, you don't have multiple personalities, but you have the blinking lights to change the personalities.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're trying to tell a dude he's not super smart, but you locked him up in a padded room and to make sure he don't break.
Yeah, I think what happened with Glass was Split was so successful that he was just like, oh shit, now I gotta fucking I gotta bring it all together, because maybe Split was just like something he added, like the last 5 minutes of that was just something he added as like a sort of like, oh, it's cute.
Well, the Beast and that whole David, the Horde, that was supposed to be the villain of Unbreakable, and he said Unbreakable was already had a lot in there, so he took that character out entirely and just did another movie with that character.
But you can say anything in hindsight. Prove it. Like, show me the first draft of that fucking script. You can say like 15, 20 years later, yeah, I totally wanted to put the Beast in there.
Well, there was also rumors that it was supposed to be a whole trilogy about David. Like, it was supposed to be either called Unbreakable breakable and broken, or unbreakable, unbeatable, and unstoppable. Like those were the two things that were kicking around the whole time. And I remember he said something that really caught me off guard, and this should have tuned me in. During the Q&A, he was like, yeah, I paid for this movie. Like, I refinanced my house to pay for this movie because the studio wanted to throw all their money at it. Like, Disney wanted to throw all their money at it. Universal wanted to throw all their money at it. And I said no, because I knew if they started throwing their money at it, I would lose control. And I wanted to keep the creative control in my hands. And I was just like,
maybe you should have taken the money.
Yeah, man. Because goddamn, man. Because I feel like this is literally anybody could have made a better ending to that trilogy than what he did. You know what I'm saying? Literally anybody. Because and he called it the most realistic superhero movie ever made. I'm like, no, nigga, that's Unbreakable. Like, Unbreakable is the most realistic superhero movie ever made. Like, that is just a cartoon that you introduced two twists at the last second that...
Like, no setup. No setup at that fucking all.
No payoff. No fucking payoff. And especially the way they kill Bruce Willis. Like, you just watched this nigga punch through, like, a metal tank. You know what I'm saying? And then you're trying to tell me, oh, yeah, he has super strength. Like, we watched him do all types of shit over the course of 2 movies.
Right.
And you're trying to tell me, oh, some random nigga just drowns him in a puddle. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck you.
Tell me how you really feel about M. Night.
Yeah, yo, listen, I was hyped, man. I was tired of this dude. And then he won me back with Split. I didn't think he had that in him. And then he just killed all that goodwill again.
Yeah, so Old. It's coming out. It's got a trailer. It would have been interesting if someone else had done the movie.
I don't even think the concept is that interesting anyway.
It like you said, it's an extended version of a pretty decent Twilight Zone episode. But yeah, it's... Yeah. And like I got nothing to say, man. It was like on the screen, and I was like, "Oh, it's called Old." You couldn't even come up with a better fucking title than that.
All right, well, let's move into the Tomorrow War. This is another Paramount movie that got sold to Amazon.
Look, I am here for it. It looks just like Edge of Tomorrow, and I will say that Edge of Tomorrow is one of my favorite action sci-fi movies, and possibly one of my favorite Tom Cruise movies, honestly.
The only reason why I saw Edge of Tomorrow is because I'll never forget, I got a screener for it 3 months before the motherfucker came out, and we're like, wait, what? I was like, Trey, you want to go? The shit's in 3D. He's like, yeah, sure, fuck it. We get there, and we're not thinking that, like, because we're like, oh, this movie looks bad. And I remember getting, like, that. Remember when they first invade the beach?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, up until that point, I was in it. I was like, this is not what I expected. And then that's what sealed it from me. Like, me and Trey, we took off our 3D glasses and looked at each other. We were like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah, like Doug Liman stuck his whole entire foot up in that. Like, it fired on all sorts of cylinders. And to do a movie, time travel movies in general, like, are difficult to do.
Yeah. Because this is like a Groundhog Day situation.
Right. And to make this movie as interesting and engaging as it was, like he did it. And Tom Cruise, once again, I clown him. I will continue to clown his short ass forever and forever. But he is a star. He is a fantastic actor, and like he kills it in this role.
Yeah, man. I know they're still trying to get the sequel made, but if it doesn't, who cares? This movie,
right? It doesn't need a fucking sequel.
They're trying to call it Live, Die, Repeat, and Repeat.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how the name of the fucking movie
keeps changing.
It doesn't keep changing. It's the fucking marketing people. It's called Edge of Tomorrow. It's not called Live, Die, Repeat. That's the tagline.
Well, you know, it was originally stuck with the title that it's based on.
Right, like All You Need Is Kill, right?
Yeah, because that's the name of the light novel. And the light novel is basically like a shorter manga. Right. Like real short. And All You Need Is Kill, once you see the movie, you're like, oh, yeah, you guys should have stuck with that title because that makes fucking sense. Right. That's literally how you save the world. All you need is kill. Like, I don't know why they, and even Emily Blunt, they asked her, like, what title did you prefer? She's like, oh, All You Need Is Kill. Like, that's what I signed on to do. That's what we should have kept. Because Edge of Tomorrow sounds like a fucking soap opera.
Right. It sounds like a romance novel, but it's still better than Live, Die, Repeat.
Yeah.
And the fact that you buy the DVD now, right? And it's just like bold letters, Live, Die, Repeat, and like little, like the tiny at the bottom, colon,
Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow. No, motherfuckers, like, stop being dumb Americans.
Well, they do that. They did that to Harley Quinn. After Harley Quinn underperformed its first weekend, they rebranded it Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey instead of Harley Quinn and the Emancipation of. Right. No, it was called Birds of Prey and the Emancipation of one Harley Quinn.
Yeah. So like,
y'all gotta stop. Stop. Stick with your shit. Own it.
Like, the American viewing public is not that dumb.
They're not. If they're not interested, they're just not interested. You know what I'm saying? Like, no title change is gonna like trick people into watching.
Like, giving it a shittier name is not gonna make them like, oh, live, die, repeat.
Yeah,
all right, no, fuck that shit. But anyway, back to the Tomorrow War.
It looks like it could be. It looks like it go two ways. Either it could be really fun or really fucking bad.
Yeah, like there's not going to be a middle ground for this movie.
Yeah, man.
And I'm here for Chris Pratt. Despite whatever, very very conservative viewpoints he has.
Man. Yeah, man.
He's enjoyable to watch on screen.
They put Sam Richardson in as the sidekick. He's the black comedian. He was in Veep. I'm like, him doing an action movie, I'm just like.
But if he's a sidekick, it's fine. Hey, look, Tom Arnold was the sidekick in True Lies.
But he didn't have to do anything.
But he did some shit.
He didn't do shit. They're throwing this dude into the deep end.
Yeah, I think he can do it. But like,
it looks expensive as fuck. I'm like, I watched that trailer. I was like, I don't know, guys. Maybe this is one you should have held on to.
It does feel like a bigger movie. It feels like it should be seen on the screen. I don't know why they didn't. Like a lot of these movies are going like.
Paramount. That's all Paramount has now is just Mission Impossible movies to put in theaters.
So what happened with Mission Impossible? What happened with last week? Did someone get COVID?
Yep, they shut down Mission Impossible 7 because somebody got COVID, and there is after
his tirade.
Yeah, I was like, yo, you thought that would have been it, but I guess they have the world's shittiest crew working that movie. That's all I can say for that. So I mean, maybe Xenu was right in channeling his midget rage.
Is that what we're calling it now? Wait, we can't. Midget's a derogatory term.
Yeah.
A dwarf.
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Dwarf rage. Yeah. Just dwarf rage.
Yeah.
I hope Peter Dinklage isn't listening.
Oh no, Peter, you're cool, man. I meant to say dwarf. I'm sorry.
I love me some Dinklage.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
He's fucking fantastic, man.
That'd be awesome if we could redo Mission Impossible with him.
I mean, we can, man. Like, all you need is that machine learning shit. We'll just do some deep fakes. I know what I'm doing when I get home tonight. I'm deep faking fucking Peter Dinklage on all the Mission Impossibles. Bye. No more podcasts. I'll be doing this for the next 2 years.
Shit. All right.
So what else we got?
We got our last trailer. It is Last Night in Soho. Edgar Wright is back. This feels like Suspiria, and I'm talking about old school Suspiria, not the new one. It feels like a Italian Gallo movie.
It's very lightly, very contrasty with the lighting. It's very moody. It's
the cover of Downtown was perfect.
Right. Like, I can't, after seeing what he did with Baby Driver and his use of movement and his use of sound and editing and stuff like that, I cannot wait for this movie. It seems like that Baby Driver style in a horror movie.
I love the title card reveal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where the chick screams and then there's like a cracking mirror and you get Last Night in Soho. That was just like, talk about a throwback. But the concept's cool too. Like an outsider loner who goes to college can't fit in, and she fits in when she like
travels back in time.
To be a glamour model, you know, and it's going wrong because ghosts are attacking.
Yeah, fucking ghosts, man.
Yeah,
Ghosts are always fucking shit up.
Look, man. Like it was a teaser. It was a teaser, but it was effective. That's one of the most effective trailers I've seen in a while. Like,
yeah, but I'm always here for anything Edgar Wright
same.
does. You know, like,
there's an Edgar Wright. I'm getting a screener for an Edgar Wright movie this Wednesday.
Yeah, what is it?
It's his documentary on the Sparks, the music group.
Okay.
So I probably won't get to it till Saturday, just because
I wonder what an Edgar Wright documentary looks like.
I'm excited. I'm very excited. So.
You know, like because he's
long though.
He's a very deliberate filmmaker, like his camera movements and stuff like that. So like it's very planned. So to have a documentary where it's just a camera and some subjects, I'm looking forward to that.
Because the Cornetto trilogy, he has those montages where the camera zooms in and cuts every time it does.
Yeah,
like
it's
somebody grabbing their keys or closing the door.
Like his swish pan transitions from day to night. Like
yeah. I mean, yeah, and goddamn, man, can't wait for that 4K Blu-ray for Scott Pilgrim.
Did we have this conversation that I finally went back to watching Scott Pilgrim after like not seeing it for like 10 years and then truly appreciating it? Like it is the most comic book movie there ever has been.
Oh yeah.
And most video game movie, honestly.
Yeah. That's another one where I was just the wild, immature idiot, because that was one. Again, I watched it recently and I was always on Scott's side, but then watching it recently, I'm like, no, Scott is the OG fuckboy. Like he's just no. Scott's wrong in every situation here.
Right. I mean, Knives is the hero in my
and the way he treats the drummer, the girl he used to date, I'm like, bro, seriously.
He's only gaslighting all of the women.
Yes.
in his life.
Man. And I like what Knives says at the end. He's like, yo, you literally fought for her. Like, I'll be okay. That's the lady you deserve.
Right.
You know? So, yeah, man.
And it was ahead of its time when it came to, like, graphic design, editing, use of music. It's a great movie. I just wasn't ready for it when it came out.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah. Like, everybody ate that shit up when I went to my screening.
Yeah, I liked it when I first saw it, but I didn't love it. Watching it now is like I should have loved this.
I love it. But yeah, shout out to me for watching all these movies and realizing like, yeah, man,
it's growth, baby. That's what being adults all about, Man,
I was a kid.
Yeah, like we had this conversation like 2 episodes ago about how I wasn't ready for Casino when I first saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're just,
and that's I don't like. It takes me at least 3 viewings of a Will Ferrell movie in order to get the comedy.
Yeah.
And then when it happens, it becomes, genius.
Damn, man. So, yeah. God's working on all of
us. I love how you went from choosing anger when you came into here. And it's like,
I didn't choose violence. That's just a character. I mean, me, well, Joe's kids are my kids, but,
I mean, you're good. You're a good stepdad.
Yeah, I'm a better dad than he is. That's what. Now Joe's crying. I can't connect to my kids. Well, Joe, you should have been a better dad.
Yeah,
these are my kids now.
You can't build a relationship 1 week in a month.
Yeah,
at IHOP. Fucking right. IHOP.
We want to give a big shout out to Scott Wampler for letting us use the term ill-advised cinema. So follow Scott on Twitter at ScottBMD. He might freak out by all the new followers, but Scott, man, we can't wait to have you on.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. What are we watching? What
we have to read and watch.
Oh, I gotta read.
Yeah.
Oh god, damn it!
This is a good book.
Yeah, I mean,
great book.
I'll audible it.
Yeah, book first, then we'll watch the movie because I already know that movie's gonna be a piece of shit.
Oh, it's Who's it stars? It's Samuel Jackson and.
Let's save that as a surprise.
No, I just want to
It's Sam Jackson and John Cusack.
John Cusack is going through his Nick Cage metamorphosis.
Well, like Bruce Willis is, like we're about to get into. Bruce Willis has done nothing but straight to Netflix or straight to video movies, and the nigga still thinks he has the juice. And I'm just like, dude, you haven't cared about anything
since Looper.
Yeah, man, and even before Looper, that it was like hard to find when Bruce Willis cared before that.
Hudson Hawk.
You know, like
at least he tried.
Yeah, like I don't, man.
So ill-advised cinema. Let's talk Cosmic Sin. I watched this movie during the height of the pandemic, and it felt like I watched it during the height of a pandemic.
Yo. Everything about this movie screams wrong, just from even the acting choices. Like some of the actors make some choices in this where I'm like, where was the director?
Everything about this movie screams
wrong.
I am a drug dealer trying to launder a whole bunch of money, and I need to do this quickly. Where's Bruce Willis?
Yo. And, you know, at this point, I feel like Bruce Willis is just going to say yes to everything. Because, you know, it's infamous that Bruce Willis was giving Kevin Smith shit because he was smoking weed and he didn't know the lenses. And I'm like, bro, if that's all the problem he had is smoking weed and not knowing lenses, that is very zero worry as a film director. Like, if he's giving you direction of what to do in each scene, what the fuck is the problem? Yeah, I mean, you're making pieces of shit that look worse than any... Because Kevin Smith's movies look good, man.
I mean, they look...
At least like somebody knows what they're doing.
They look competent. I wouldn't say like they look good.
I'm not saying they're reinventing cinematography here, but like they look good. But I'm just saying like the pieces of shit that he's been in lately, like these look like somebody like whipped out a red camera. It was like the cheapest lens they could have and just shot the shit.
So fucking Cosmic Sin. So the reason I watched Cosmic Sin is because it was Frank Grillo and Bruce Willis on the cover, and I will watch anything with Grillo in it, man. Like I love him as a tough guy actor.
But I wouldn't watch everything.
I'd give it a try, and I figured like, okay, Bruce Willis is in this. I mean, maybe there's some chemistry, maybe there's a combination of whatever like that. I think they're on screen together maybe 3 minutes.
Yeah, I don't even think I made it that far because my version cut out an hour into it. And you know what, man? For that hour, I was highly entertained by like everything.
How bad it was.
Yeah. Like I can't even say I'm mad. I was just like, you know what I mean? Like every choice in there, I was just laughing and having a good time.
Well, let's start with the title cards. 2042, intergalactic travel is discovered. 2254, the Spice Wars or whatever fucking bullshit. Like there's 3 planets and they're fighting a revolution against each other on different, you know. And that's how you like. So you jump literally 200 years in the future.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's the worst history book ever. It's like, oh, Christopher Columbus discovered America, and next, Donald Trump's president. You know, like there's a whole lot of fucking shit in between, you know, that you could have gotten into. So it's supposed to be 200 years in the future. They're still driving around in
regular ass cars,
regular ass pickup trucks, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm trying to explain away the stupidity. So I'm like, okay, maybe Frank Grillo, you know, he just like collects classic cars or shit like that. But then they do a wide shot of him driving down the road, and there's like fucking 15 panel vans on the highway. It's like, oh, okay, so this is the future. We're still relying on coal, huh?
Still got shitty rock bands. Like these sound like somebody's like uncle made these songs in a garage. It's like Sharknado. Like remember that song in Sharknado? 'Cause I'm a man. It's that level. It is that level of songs.
Right. All right. And so they're still using gunpowder and bullets.
Yeah.
200 years in the future. No lasers or more elegant and more technologically advanced weapons.
Apparently, military officials still have marriage spouts You know what I mean? During missions, because Perry Reeves and Bruce Willis, they argue and then make up and like, well, if we survive this, you better be taking me out for a drink. And I'm like, bitch, wrong time for this. Also, shout out to Perry Reeves. I haven't seen her since Entourage.
Yo, I was like, all the way through the movie, it's like, who is this actress? Who is this actress?
That's Ari's wife.
She looks so familiar. And then I looked it up. It's like, it's Ari. It's Mrs. Gold.
Yeah. I regret spending years watching that show.
That is one of the shows
that has aged badly.
So badly.
Do not show a minority that show. Do not show a woman that show. Do not show a gay person that show. I didn't even make the show. I have nothing to do with the show, and even I'm apologizing right now for that show.
Right, because when it first came on, we're going totally off the script, but fuck it. When I first watched that show, when it was on, like I couldn't wait to show up every Sunday to watch that shit because I want to live that kind of lifestyle. I want to be part of the Pussy Patrol. Blah 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 blah. And the older I get, it's like, oh, that seems like a horrible fucking life.
Yeah, they're all lonely, man. Like none of them, the only person who gets married is E, and that's because E's not really that big of a dickhead, but all of them, every relationship they fail at just because you watch them fail at it, and they're being rewarded for failing at their relationships.
Right, like
that seems so lonely. Just to hang out with a bunch of dudes all the time, like it seems
like a horrible life.
I'm just gonna drink and get fucked up,
right?
And try to catch every STD I possibly can,
like Pokemon.
Yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah, man. And then Vince makes a movie every once a year. That's it.
Right. So, I mean, it is a perfect encapsulation of that period of time, right before we as a society kind of like woke, like we didn't grow up, but like we're still in our infancy, but like we see how dumb we were.
The only good thing about that show was the business, because the business moves are correct. Like that's basically how business is conducted in Hollywood. But like everything else, I'm just like, oh.
Right. But like, I mean, I don't know. I don't hang out in Hollywood, but maybe the people are like that. But then that means everybody in Hollywood's horrible, and I can't stand by that. I don't believe that.
You get douchebags everywhere, right. So that's always going to be a thing. But like,
yeah. So back to Cosmic Sin.
Yeah, shout out to Perry Reeves. Yo, she's having a rough.
Yeah, she's still keeping it tight though. She's still keeping it tight. Yeah. Man. So what else do we want? Like, what else do we want to talk about? This fucking movie,
how about the jump? The quantum jump, where they jump to the alien world, and the alien world is just a forest, and somehow there's humans already there, just chilling.
Okay, so there's two things I would like to talk about that you just brought up. I love how quantum is used throughout the movie in just different ways and forms. It's like in the future, quantum is a noun, verb, adjective. Like there's Q technicians and quantum bombs and Q tunnels and shit like that. And they keep this technology that can kill millions at a clip in what looks like a U-rent storage container.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
The production design is literally like, let's put up some red lights and put some caution tape around shit.
Yeah.
And that's the future. That's their production design.
Yeah.
But yeah, the alien world is pretty much just a forest. And the start, like the military base, literally looks like the loading dock of a Lowe's.
Yeah. Yeah. That quantum jump shit was just weird too. Also, was that Frank Grillo's son? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm confused by that relationship.
I'm confused too. I think it's his son, but his son is also an asshole.
And because he was talking to him sideways, like, "Hey, you're gonna let these guys do it, but you won't let your family do it." I'm like, "Yeah, because that's his family." Yeah, man. Come on, man. Like, and then he's just like, instead of punching the shit out of him, he's just like, you know what? He's going into, and I'm just like, wait, what the fuck?
So, and it seemed like everybody was acting in a different movie.
Yeah.
Like it was literally as if they cut clips from, not better movies, just different movies, and kind of just assembled them together.
Yeah.
So my goal is to find those movies that they kind of clip these other actors from, and try to like piece that together. And let's give a high five or a rousing applause for Costas Mandalore's acting choices for this fucking movie.
Right? This movie's fucking nuts.
So Costas Mandalore, for some reason, I think he's from fucking Jersey, decides just to do a really bad British accent throughout the whole entire fucking movie.
Yeah. And he the way he dies too, like the shit that comes out of people's mouths, it contradicts themselves like 1 second to the next, and it's just nonsensical, right, man?
Right. Like Cosmic Sin is as if everybody owed somebody a favor, and or they were going to get their legs broken by whatever dealer they were, of whatever drug they were doing. Like, do this movie, or Samson's gonna come by and fucking break your thumbs.
Like that, like 1 minute they're like, I'm not gonna let you die, and then he's like, fuck it, I always knew I was gonna die. It's just like, what?
And it looks like cutscenes from Halo. Yeah.
If Halo was made on a $2 budget, it's like the very first Halo for Xbox One.
Right. And so, like, the dude who directed this, he also directed a movie called Breach, also starring Bruce Willis, which is also another sci-fi movie.
Oh, wow.
And Breach keeps on showing up on my Amazon feed.
Is it Prime?
Yeah, it keeps on showing up on Prime. It's like, you like this piece of shit, so you'll like Breach.
Okay, so if it's on Amazon Prime, I think I might watch that.
And give it a try. Your eyes will bleed. So, if you were looking for a movie that is just so bad that it's comical, Cosmic Sin.
Yeah.
Everything from the acting choices, the directorial choices, the production design. The production design is like they didn't even try.
Yeah.
Just go to fucking Halloween City, and just buy some props.
It looked like the suits were breaking apart. Literally, like you could see the spandex and the armor, in which the armor was plastic. It was literally like crumbling on their chest.
Yeah, it was laundering drug money.
Yeah, man. So Cosmic Sin, highly ill-advised. Everything about it, the music, the acting, the choice. Goddamn, the choices in the acting, the choices in the directing, even the editing. Oh, yeah.
So Cosmic Sin.
All right, well,
moving on to
our main review. We're back in horror, and there's something I would like to point out. At least John Krasinski, he shoots Quiet Place 1 and 2 on film. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And those movies have low budgets. Here we are, The Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It.
Just call it the fucking Conjuring 3.
Yeah.
I fucking hate this title.
I said that shit to my brother. I was like, why didn't they just call it The Conjuring 3? Yeah, man. Everything about it screams TV movie.
So we're not even TV movie, like sci-fi original, like late night, maybe a Shudder original movie.
Well, let's start at the beginning of the franchise, because I remember going to that opening night screening when they used to do midnight shows, and that was the first time, is midnight Thursday night.
Right.
Went to a midnight show for The Conjuring, and that motherfucker was sold out. It was people between the ages of 16, because they didn't give a fuck.
Right.
16 and 30, and everybody in that motherfucker was terrified. I was terrified. Trey was terrified.
It's a fucking scary ass movie.
My brother's friend was terrified. Like we didn't know what the fuck. Like I remember the music starting that, and we all looked at each other like, what the fuck? Like that was some evil ass music, man. And like the movie, it's not even that it's jump scares. It just gets under your fucking skin.
It's that impending sense of dread that most modern horror movies don't have.
Yeah, they don't have that tension, and it just creeps you out. It wants to creep you out.
Right.
And it creeps you out by showing you things here or there, showing you the grotesque ghosts. It's not even jumping out and attacking them.
Right, it's just there.
Yeah.
None of that is in The Devil Made Me Do It. For one thing, I hated the way the movie started, because before the you have a frame one, you have this bombastic fucking music.
Yeah, the music in these main Conjuring movies have gotten worse by each movie. Like, they replaced the sinister music in the first one and the second one with the Gregorian chants. And I get that because, you know, the nun is basically the entity in the second one.
Right.
And now this one, I don't even know what the fuck to call it. It seemed like parody, like somebody's making a parody Conjuring music.
Yeah, like it starts off with this bombastic movie, with this bombastic music, and then you do like that slow tracking shot in to like the
exorcism.
The exorcism.
Yeah.
The exorcism wasn't fun.
No. And they're literally ripping off The Exorcist, like
like when he got out of the cab, I was like, could you be any more fucking obvious?
I was just like, oh, this is where we're going here. I was just like, and you know what? You think about The Conjuring, and you just think like The Conjuring has devolved into the Exorcist series, where like the original of both series are all timers, and then everything that's come after has just been dog shit.
Well, look, like horror sequels, just like comedy sequels, it's the rule. It's like the law of diminishing returns.
Right.
Like the second one will be decent, but it's not going to be nearly as good as the first one.
Well,
and like the third one and the fourth one or whatever like that, it just keeps on getting watered down and watered down.
Well, I mean, to give James Wan credit, I thought Insidious 2 was a tad bit better than Insidious 1.
Okay, like it's not a hard and fast rule, but for like the most part,
yeah.
Like I call it the Scream theory. You watch Scream 1, right? Because it's new, you know, because you've never seen anything like it, right? It comes off as a better movie, right? It is a better movie. Scream 2, right? You've already established the rules. So you have to up the ante when it comes to the scares. So Scream 2 is a scarier movie,
right?
Because they have to, you know, turn up the volume, but it's not a better movie.
I like them both equally.
No,
I know. I get why people wouldn't like Scream 2, but you know what I mean.
But then you get into Scream 3 and Scream 4, and it's just like
Aaron Kruger, man, he's not a good writer. He wrote Scream 3 and 4.
I mean, he was a hot shit for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah, man. He was writing all those Transformers. So
what's the last thing he did?
Like probably Transformers 4 or 5. One of them shits.
Yeah, whatever. All right. Anyway, back to this other piece of shit. It's not a piece of shit. It's just it's a boring movie.
Yeah, it has no narrative flow. Like it's so dull. Like the scenes feel so disconnected. Like even when they're on a mission to save this kid from being killed on death row, and they go to another town to help prove like, hey, this case might be connected, and you know the devil may be possessing people to kill people, and it turns into this whole other thing where they're looking for this dead, and I'm just like, wait, what the fuck? Why are we doing this now, man?
Right. It's 5 different movies.
Yeah.
Like in each one of the movies is more interesting than the combined film. Like they could have gone like a number of different ways, and each one of those ways is more interesting than what we got.
Well, they were talking. I remember when James Wan was stepping away, he's like, I'm going to stay as a producer, but this one's going to be like a Law and Order court case type deal. And I was like, The Conjuring as a court case? That sounds interesting. And it's only 2 scenes.
You get none of that.
Yeah, man. Like
them trying to convince the lawyer of the devil would have made an excellent fucking movie. It would have made an excellent 10 minutes of exposition.
Right.
You know, because like you were telling me, like we were saying earlier, it goes from like, so you want me to defend this guy from our argument is he was possessed by the devil. I don't know. And then the Warrens go, well, come to our house. You'll meet Annabelle. And the next day she just looks shook. And she's in front of the court, in front of the judge. That could have been a whole entire sequence.
That's also what I hated too. I hated the connections to the other movies. Like they said, the parents sent us flowers. Oh, that was nice of them. And if you guys don't know who the parents are, that was the family from the fucking first movie.
Well, okay, so there you go. I don't care enough to actually remember that, but all right, there you go.
Well, I like the first movie a lot, man.
Yeah, I mean, I love
that first one.
It was good.
That was still James Wan's best directed movie. That's another thing this movie lost is
James Wan.
Yeah, man. The dude who directed is Michael Chavez. He directed The Curse of La Llorona, and this is better than The Curse of La Llorona, but The Curse of La Llorona from top to bottom, like everything about that fucking sucks. Like, I feel bad for Linda Cardellini in that movie. I feel bad for Patricia Vasquez in that movie. I'm just like, y'all got stuck with some dog shit just from top to bottom.
Yeah, and so fucking, all right, how do you not introduce the main adversary until 3/4 of the way into the fucking movie?
The Satanist, we all think it's a Satanist cult, but it's only one person.
Right, and it's like her motivation is witches bewitching, yo.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's fucking stupid.
And John Noble was the best character in the movie. Best thing about the movie, he was like, it seemed like he stepped in from a better movie.
That was I would have loved to have seen his movie.
Yeah, man, and that shit eventually they introduced some last minute twist with him where you're just like, oh fuck, man, y'all ruined this shit too, man.
Right. And here's my thing. So in the beginning of the movie, spoiler alert.
Who gives a fuck?
No one gives a fuck. In order, they're exercising the little boy, and it's too powerful, whatever, like that. And so what's his name? Arnold?
Arnie.
Arnie takes the kid and he's talks to the demon, possess me.
Yeah.
Right? No one, he doesn't remember saying.
Nobody else saw that except for Ed, which is also kind of weird. Right.
No one else, Ed had a heart attack, but also, you didn't remember asking a demon to possess you, right? You were there for a whole entire fucking exorcism,
right?
Where shit's breaking, the priest got knocked upside the head with a teacup.
Your girlfriend flew halfway across the room.
Right.
Well, not even your girlfriend, your fucking fiance.
Right. And so you actively request that this demon jump into your body, and you just walk away and think everything is cool. It made no fucking sense. And why did they stay in the house?
I don't know.
Why the fuck? All right, so what is with white people in these movies and staying in a house that obviously does not want you there?
So, I mean, at least in the first two Conjuring movies, they make it, they tell you why they're there. First off, they didn't know that the house was haunted. Also, too, they're too poor to move. So at least they explained that in those first two movies. This one, I don't know. They say, the dude, Arnie, even says, he's like, hey, let's leave. And she's like, leave Ridgefield? I'm like, what?
Yeah, leave the fucking house where the devil possessed your little brother on day one.
Yeah.
There was no even build up for the possession. It originally, it's just it went from 0 to your mother's a fucking whore.
Right.
Pea spitting. Yeah, pea soup spitting.
Yeah, man. I would say the only thing that saves this entire movie is besides John Noble is Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga. Their chemistry is just amazing. Well, because this is the fourth movie they've done together. It's the fourth Conjuring movie they've done together because they're in the beginning and the end of the third Annabelle movie. And the beginning of that third Annabelle movie is honestly the most scared I've gotten since the first Conjuring.
Yeah, and all right, so everything is convoluted.
It's a whole because the second Annabelle movie is a prequel to the first one, and then it leads directly into the first one, and the first one's a piece of shit. And then in the second Annabelle movie, they also set up the nun, because the nun pops up in a picture, and then she scares the kids at a couple of times. There's a post-credit scene with the nun.
Yeah.
Like, they really went all in on the nun, and as bad as the nun was, because the nun was just jump scares galore, like, at least I was never bored watching the nun. The nun is bad.
Right.
But I was never bored, and like at least it had narrative flow and better production design too.
The most interesting part of this movie was the stuff in the woods, and you see all of that in the fucking trailer.
Yeah, because the other best part is the fucking cavern underground in the dude's house,
right?
The priest's
and
house.
It's just like, okay,
that shit should have been introduced much sooner. You know what I mean?
Right. And here's another. I'm nitpicking at this point because I fucking don't like this movie. Why was the little boy in the prison like on visiting day?
I don't know.
Besides an expo dump, that just does not seem a proper place to bring your little brother visiting your fiance who brutally murdered your landlord.
Well, that's not his brother. That's his fiance.
Right. That's his fiance's brother. But like, why would you bring him there?
Yo,
beyond the expo dump.
I'll be real with you, man. I was so checked out by that point where I was just like, sure, fuck it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Whatever you want to do. Yeah. Okay. You want to? Yeah. Whatever you want to do.
You know, like
Conjuring.
Like, I don't know, man. What I gather, and this is what Trey agreed with me with, is like, what I gather is The Conjuring was some cool shit James Wan did. They made a fuck ton of money off of it, and then they're just like, oh, wait a minute. Why don't we expand this so we could keep making money? We could make some Annabelle movies. We could make a movie about the nun. We could make a movie about the Crooked Man, because that's still getting made.
Just like the Saw franchise.
Yeah.
You know, like it's the same principle.
Yeah, man. Because now the Curse of La Llorona, that's tied into this whole universe too.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah,
so there you go.
Yeah. La Llorona, one of the priests from one of them Annabelle movies pops up in Curse of La Llorona.
Okay, I hate all of this. I hate this. I hate you creating this whole universe.
Yeah, based off of, and that's what makes it not scary anymore. Is the thing that freaked me out about the first Conjuring is while watching this, I always had in the back of my mind, based on a true story, and that shit freaks me out, man. Like that's still one of the most effective true story horror movies. When I saw that at the beginning of this one where it said based on a true story, I was just like, you know what, man, sure. I was like, fuck. Like, you could tell what was real and what was made up. I was just like that whole shit with the Satanists, I was like, you guys threw that bullshit in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Like, at this point, I'm just like,
there were 5 different and better movies in this movie.
Yeah, man. Because the only thing I could tell you that truly terrified me was the exorcism over the end credits when they played the audio tape.
Yo,
that shit fucking freaked me out. I was like, what the fuck? Like that shit. I was
yes, that is the scariest part, because that is actually based on a true story, because that was the actual fucking recording.
And you're listening to that fucking kid's voice change and just start hissing. Like, that doesn't sound like a fucking kid. And that kid is saying shit that no kid would say. Like, you're listening to that and you're just like, what the fuck, man? Like, that shit made the hairs on my arm stand up.
So it's like when you watch a comedy and at the end it's all the bloopers.
Yeah.
And the bloopers are funnier than the movie that you just watched. It's the same principle of this. You know, like the end credits were more effectively frightening than the actual movie that came before.
Yes. Yeah, I would tell everybody, fast forward through the actual fucking movie and watch the end credits.
Or better yet, just YouTube the Warrens and listen to the recordings. I'm sure there's millions of them out there.
Oh, yeah, that's why we're going to get like 25 Conjuring movies. And you know, at this point, Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, they like doing them just because they like
eat. And they can eat.
And they like working with each other. You know what I mean? Like, I don't blame them. I cash out too, but like we need somebody who cares, man. Because clearly this motherfucker, Michael Chavez, just doesn't care. Like, we need somebody to come on and just be like, knock it out of the park again. Someone who had the hunger that James Wan had.
We just need an original story. We need original horror.
Well, I mean, I'm not against this just because the Warrens have a million case files and they got some freaky shit. Like, I feel like we haven't even scratched the surface of what case files they've covered. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like they're all right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm waiting for a good one. This is not it.
Oh yeah, you didn't like the first one?
No, I like the first one,
Okay.
but like I'm just saying, when it comes to sequels,
Oh yeah.
I'm waiting for a good sequel.
Yeah. Will it happen? Maybe, probably not, but like it's possible.
Right.
I just think they don't care just because they're printing money. This is one of the reasons I am glad that this was on HBO Max, because
I would be mad as fuck if I
holy
paid for
shit.
this.
I'll be real with you. I would have been more mad seeing this in theaters than Spiral.
Really?
Because at least Spiral had Chris Rock and
Right.
Chris Rock making jokes. Like, that had some memorable shit. So at least some memorable shit in there.
I'd had to make notes
See?
on this shit just to remember how much to hate it.
Yeah, so Conjuring 3, skip it. It's just absolutely skip it.
Or don't skip it, but don't go see it in the movie theater. It's not worth risking COVID or whatever
Yeah.
to watch this out.
All
Save
right.
that for Fast 9.
All right, well, we're the Film Blurs. I'm Brandon Norwood, and I'm the motherfucking protagonist.
I'm the protagonist.
I'm Jeff Stewart, and I am not the motherfucking protagonist.
Don't come at us. It's just fucking movies.
You've been listening to the Film Blurs podcast.
Man, I just love what you guys do, man.
I never miss an episode. It's the best.
It's my favorite podcast.
Follow Jeff on IG on MindFireXL and Brandon on Twitter at BJN Tweets.